Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors,
including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife.
and we do our best each and every week to keep it tasteful, but discretion is advised.
Now, enjoy the show.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
This week on the show.
This week, we pay tribute to hunting experiences of days past. The Riverside Lodge in Hoopersville offers an experience that you're not likely to find anywhere else, complete with top-notch accommodations, sumptuous meals, and oh yeah, did we mention the incredible duck hunting yet?
Time to hunt.
And we experience a morning on the icy Honga River that has to be seen to be believed.
Oh yeah, here it comes, here it comes.
With ducks coming at us from all sides, the only question we have is, will we limit out?
Somebody killed that duck.
Plus, with the morning hunt over, we'll sit down to an amazing hot lunch and reflect upon our visit to this jewel on the Honga.
Now, what do you expect people to take away from a visit to the Riverside Lodge? Right now on Outdoors Delmarva.
How in the world we miss all them stupid ducks?
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And now, here's Andrew Tawes and Captain Willie Dykes.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Andrew Tawes. And Willie, I understand that you and Chopper Chuck had a couple of pretty interesting days here recently.
That we did, Andrew. We were invited to spend the night and go duck hunting the next day in Hoopersville. And let me tell you, it was like taking a trip back in time to an era where the classic hunting lodges provided a luxurious experience for their guests. And it was one trip we're not likely to soon forget. The Riverside Lodge started off as the Hoopers Island Gun Club around 1900, and for much of its existence was owned by the Dollar family, who hosted private hunts for wealthy friends and connections. These days, the lodge is owned by Gary McQuitty and his wife Peggy, and now they've opened it up for members of the public to enjoy. They've put Chuck and I up in our own house, for Pete's sake, complete with a living room and kitchen and a back porch with a great view of the bay. And I have Gary McQuitty with me. Hey, Gary. Gary's the boss man down here. We are atop the lodge right now, and tell us what we're looking at out the window here.
To the back of us is the Chesapeake Bay. Behind us is the Honga River. It's a very narrow strip of land.
Okay, now we're talking about doing a little waterfowling tomorrow. That's the business you're here in at Riverside Lodge.
We do a little bit of everything, but this time of year, the ducks are our primary target. We do 2 and 3 day hunts. So you come in like this evening, you're here for the first night. It's hors d'oeuvres will be served. It's a fantastic meal. It's a candlelit meal in the dining room with the mural from back in the 60s on the wall. In the morning, we'll get you up. We'll feed you a nice breakfast, a full breakfast, take you to the blind, bring you back in and do a lunch, let you lounge around a little bit, take you back out in the afternoon for the afternoon hunt, and then we do it all again with the meal and everything that night.
Wow.
So it's a pretty cool experience. Not just a hunt, it's an experience. To give you a little bit of history here, the Dollars were extremely, extremely wealthy. The first Mr. Dollar held the original patent on the zipper. Governor Harrington hunted here with him. The Chryslers hunted here with them. It was a very prominent family. So it's a lot of history here. It's a really cool place. And what you see is basically, for the most part, what they left.
The lodge was reconstructed in 1968 after a fire and has remained as you see it ever since. Here in the foyer, it's starting to look like a hunt club for sure.
Yes. The vinyl floor, the benches, everything is made for the hunters to come in. You know, the mud doesn't matter. You come in, you strip your hunting clothes off, or you get dressed in the morning, so everything was geared towards the hunters.
So this whole wing is basically guest room.
Yes, there's 4 rooms at this end, and then just on the other side of the foyer, there's the 5th room. So we can handle 10 guests.
The main lounge is one of the centerpieces,
This reminds me of the old movies, of the smoking parlors with the gentlemen sitting in their vests, drinking brandy and smoking cigars. So this is all the way it was from 1968, and all the carvings they left behind. So the carvings are phenomenal.
Yeah, got a fire going down there.
And the fireplace is great too.
Yeah, warm and welcoming
That's
here.
it.
Yeah. But hold on, we have yet to see the dining room. Holy smokes.
So when we do the dinner, there's no lights on, so it's all candlelit, so it'll be a much better shot then.
Yeah.
So the mural was done in 1968.
That is
Very cool room.
Do you have any idea where the artist was from that did these murals?
My understanding, he's an Italian artist,
Uh-huh.
and he did the canvas and brought the canvas here and put the canvas on the wall.
That's a fabulous piece of work
Yeah.
all the way around. Look at that.
Even the place settings, they left enough place settings here that if you're here for 3 days, you never see the same place setting twice. So every meal, you'll get a different place setting.
While the kitchen staff is preparing dinner, we'll enjoy hors d'oeuvres, including fresh raw oysters, and rub elbows with our fellow hunters. They're from R. Brooks Mechanical in Rising Sun, Maryland, and they're enjoying a company weekend. The meal, of course, is second to none, with wine and conversation flowing as it has since the 1940s. Some after-dinner libations at the bar round out the evening before we turn in, because, oh yeah, we're going hunting in the morning.
Well, it's a duck hunter's morning out there. The wind's blowing, a little mist in the air, and I'll be able to tell a little bit more about it when I get that first cup of coffee.
We're treated to a hot breakfast before gearing up, and we're gonna need it too. Our guide today will be Boyd Stewart. He and the other guides have spent the past 24 hours breaking channels in the icy Honga.
Turned out to be an adventure before we keep getting close to the blind.
We have no idea what awaits us this morning, but all signs point to a memorable day.
Coming up next, if the hunting is as good as everything at Riverside Lodge, well, we are in for a real treat. But first, did you know? The historic Riverside Lodge sits on the banks of the Honga River. How long is the Honga, and where did it get its name? The answers when we come back.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru, higher standards. Sponsored by Shorts Marine. And your local York dealers. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back.
Did you know? The Honga River is 14 miles long and about a mile wide, and historians believe that the Honga gets its name from the Powhatan word kahunga, meaning goose.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina.
Rangers lead the way, brother.
It looks more like the Arctic than Dorchester County this morning as guide Boyd Stewart steers us to our blind. We'll be hunting with Rich Brooks and Kirk Brumfield this morning, and expectations are high.
And then we had some ducks fly past us, and then I just saw one fly behind us, so I'm optimistic today. This is going to be good hunting.
Here at Riverside Lodge. Folks, if you get a chance to come, this is a place to come to shoot some ducks.
Boyd will spend a good part of the morning keeping the ice floes out of the decoy spread, calling the shots, and retrieving ducks. The warm air over cold water makes for foggy conditions that'll make it harder to see the ducks until they're right on top of us. And what follows this morning will be a combination of duck hunting that's more like quail and skeet shooting, and a whole lot of trash talk.
Time to hunt.
I missed the first one. He's going down. He's down. Somebody got a feather.
We were attacked from all quarters, some at the front, one on the ice,
One
out
here,
in the
and then
water.
Rich got that one, I believe, and then there's one out there I busted. must have been coming at you quick.
Well, muzzle was wavering all over the place. If I'd have got it settled down on him and pulled the trigger correctly, it would have been a little better.
Boom, baby. Shakalaka land.
I went right over top, man.
When he took off, I thought he was going to go that way, and I had a lead on him to take off, but instead he came at us. I overshot him, and Rich nailed him perfectly.
Did you see that where my pattern hit? How far behind it?
I think you were about a foot behind.
Okay.
Leading is the name of the game.
Like a knucklehead. No, I stuck my barrel out in front of him and pulled the trigger instead of, going with it.
Yeah.
Turned out the way it usually does if you do that. The quality of the lies waxes and wanes some, but it's, this has been a memorable morning. Another fast mover just made it through the decoys of the barrage.
That's all boy to you. Did you get him?
No, because I didn't. My gun was up there.
That was all you, Willie. I didn't fire.
I fired once, but I
Watch.
didn't.
That was all you.
Did I get two of them?
Yes, sir.
Well, I thought I might have got one of them. I don't know what happened to the other one. It could have been some kind of coronary issue.
They got scared and just dropped. I redeemed myself.
Got one to the left and one to the right, and I was just getting ready to.
I was waiting for you guys to shoot. And
He was getting ready to kill it right before Rich killed it.
Yeah,
Will was getting ready to kill
I was
it.
getting ready.
Wicked Willie on the hunt. Words on the street, Wicked Willie's out here.
Yeah, that's right. Kind of, I laid down a barrage that kind of steers them into where the other guys can. Some of these guys that don't shoot all that well can get a try at it. It's been working so far too.
Yeah.
It's been working
It
like
Can't argue with it.
working like $100.
You got that one.
I did.
Front. Got him, boy. There was one that went right behind us.
Got him. I'm bumming it.
Here, you.
Hey, buddy.
You sure?
shot. Yeah. You shot
I
and
think
missed.
I'll put the last one in.
You shot and missed, and then I hit him. I waited for you to shoot.
I call.
All right. It was a team effort.
Yeah.
How about that? No,
We're gonna get competitive now.
I'm
I ain't giving you
this time. He said, holy.
All three of us have had a hell of a day. Nobody's going away sorry here today. We've all kicked.
Hard to believe, but we're just one duck away from our limit.
All right, fella.
Okay.
Good job, sir.
My God.
Yes, sir. Congratulations.
That's amazing.
Fine hunt.
Good shooting. Good shooting.
Okay. Wow. Things have gone so well, I hate to say anything till we're on dry land. But this has been about the most perfect hunt I think I've been on.
Well, it's an honor to hunt with you, man.
Oh, man. Now it's time to head back to the cozy comfort of the Riverside Lodge, where warm coffee and tall tales await.
And Riverside Lodge, the company here, the service, and look at the ducks we got. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than this.
Rainy, cloudy, foggy, ducks flying. Bagged our limit by what, 10 o'clock? Good day.
Some good shots and a couple misses, but it was a good morning. It's never bad when you get your limit.
It was a classic. The weather, the hunt, the ducks, the company. It was one for the history books, the record books, and it's a film I'll play over and over for the rest of my life.
Get outdoors, Delmarva!
Coming up next, after a cold morning hunt, it's time for a hot seafood lunch before saying goodbye.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Okay, Willie, I can see now why you and Chuck were buzzing after your visit to Riverside Lodge. That looked amazing.
It truly was, and we weren't even finished yet. After the hunt, it was nice to go sit by the fire and warm up. Those guys had another afternoon of hunting to go. Now, we stuck around for lunch, and it was off the charts. I mean, we're talking crab cakes, soft-shelled crabs, oysters, as fresh as can be. And one of the great things about the Riverside Lodge is that when Gary and Peggy took ownership in 2015, they were able to keep the whole staff. Well, Gary, this visit to Hoopers Island has been an absolute classic. I mean, the staff, the accommodations, the food, the hunt, and even the weather have just been top-notch. Now, what do you expect people to take away from a visit to the Riverside Lodge?
What we enjoy about this the most, the hunting, the fishing, that's fantastic, and that's a great part of the experience here at the lodge. But we like the fact that we're carrying on the traditions of the hunting clubs and the fishing clubs from days gone by. So we carry on that tradition, and we hope that people get to experience the way the Eastern Shore was back in the day.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you've heard stories about how it was, all up and down this side of the bay back in the day, they're still here at the Riverside Lodge. I can guarantee you that. Well, Gary, thanks so much.
It was a pleasure having you.
Wow, Willie, really cool stuff.
Well, Andrew, you just got to make it down there yourself one day so you can stand next to Gary McQuitty and say,
Get outdoors, Delmarva.
Coming up next, they sure don't make it like they used to. We check out an old flour mill on this week's Scorchy's Corner Classic.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And now, it's time to check in with an old friend. Here is this week's Scorchy's Corner Classic.
They don't make it like they used to? Don't you believe it? At Hernan Rollins Flour Mill in Seaford, 5 generations of the same family have upheld the tradition of excellence. Excellence that was established in 1885, the year the mill was purchased by Marcellus Hearn.
We've tried to keep up quality stuff. We try to grind quality stuff. We don't buy in anything that's inferior. We try to keep our reputation up. We've always had this reputation of grinding good stuff, making good stuff. That's been mostly our secret.
Jake Moore, grandson of Marcellus, at age 83, is the current guiding light of this historic mill. One of the few mills remaining in America that can be run by water power, but now depends on electricity as its main source of energy.
I'm around here most of the time. I stay here from probably 9 o'clock until about 1:30, something like that, and I go home, take a nap.
Yes, Jake Moore has been the man on the scene at Hernan Rollins for as long as most anyone alive can remember.
They come in here, every once in a while, they say, well, I've been in this old mill for 50 years or 60 years, on white dough flour.
The mill is a busy place, grinding tons of cornmeal and flour each day, as well as a mixture of meal and flour.
Business is very good. Considering everything, business is very good.
Keep busy?
Yeah, keep busy all the time. We work 9 hours a day.
Jake Moore has seen a lot of water go over the dam at the historic mill. There's no retirement plans. He relishes every day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm contented. My wife says that she's sure glad I got something to do, but she won't want to do it. She wouldn't want to stay around me doing what I have to do.
Coming up next, your latest viewer videos and pictures.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by North Bay Marina. This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Shorts Marine. and your local York dealers.
It's time now to take a look at the videos and pictures sent in by our own Outdoors Delmarva viewers.
We can always count on our buddy Chuck Taylor of Whitehaven, Maryland to capture some amazing images, and this one doesn't let us down. He saw this piebald deer recently somewhere on the eastern shore. And check out 11-year-old Cooper Stone and 12-year-old Fisher Lloyd of Princess Anne, Maryland after a successful morning goose hunt. Way to go, guys.
Well, that's going to wrap up another week of adventures for us. And Willie, I hope you've been able to recover from living the life of luxury to coming back to eating beans and lunch meat again.
Andrew, it was a long trip back to reality, I'll tell you. But those 2 days were full of classic memories that I'll be playing over and over again in my mind for the rest of my life. So until next time, from my partner Andrew Taws, I'm Captain Willie Dykes reminding you to get outdoors, Delmarva.